I'm at practice day, the day before the Cyclocross Masters World Champs, and we're just preparing for doing practice rides around the course. I'm not allowed to ride on the course just yet, so why don't I go for a little walk along part of it and talk about Zinc. Why not? Let's not focus on the biggest event of my sporting calendar in many a year, and let's talk about zinc. Now, I'm sure you've heard heaps about zinc and its benefits for combating things like viruses when combined by vitamin C, but the role of zinc, the health benefits of zinc go far, far wider than simply combating winter colds and flus. And this is going to be a test of my knowledge, my memory of zinc, and to get it in the right order, because I'm not referring to any notes. I'm actually using this to distract me from the nervousness of contesting the Cyclocross World Champs tomorrow. So, zinc. First of all, let's think of zinc's functions. Yes, it is critical for the immune system, for combating infections such as viruses and that. It is important for digestion, for connective tissue integrity, and also for the production of many hormones. And oh, I thought somebody was coming up behind me. For the production of hormones and neurotransmitters. So when we're looking at a patient and trying to determine their zinc needs, the most obvious thing, of course, is to do the right sort of testing to determine a person's zinc status as best we can, and the hair tissue mineral analysis is the most informative of the tests, more informative than blood tests, for example. So when we're looking at somebody, we will do a careful history, and for example, if a person has a history of ear, nose and throat issues, yeast infections such as candida, urinary tract infections, thrush, dandruff, and so on. If they have indications of connective tissue issues such as stretch marks, especially stretch marks that develop around puberty and not necessarily associated with childbirth or, say, being extremely obese. Having emotional issues, children that that tend towards anxiety, and adults for that matter, anxiety, depression, the inability to filter out noise, extreme sensitivity of the skin, so tactile sensitivity might be a way of describing it, not liking certain clothing, particularly children, not being able to sit still on the mat at school, and so on, and being subjected to bullying. Now this may be sounds strange, but it's to do with zinc's role in the production of the male hormones such as testosterone, and so that is why zinc is regarded as a masculine mineral. It gives a person strength and fortitude, the strength and fortitude that comes with testosterone. So men and women need testosterone as much as either. It's just simply a difference in balance between estrogen and the male hormones, principally testosterone. So that's what we do to determine whether or not somebody needs zinc. And you'll be aware that some of those things which I just quoted there, the behaviour and the physical health issues and the infections, also could be a deficiency of other minerals such as magnesium and manganese, and so this is where testing is important. You see, one can have adequate amounts of zinc in the body, but it's all about the relativity with others. If one has, for example, got high levels of copper, then even if zinc levels are adequate, it's the relative deficiency as opposed to what we call a absolute deficiency of a particular mineral. So this is why testing is really important, because if somebody has, for example, a copper toxicity or excess iron, for example, then zinc supplementation alone is not necessarily the key answer, the answer to one's health issues. It's all about balancing between minerals, and it's all about absolute and relative balances, and the other is the concept of the Goldilocks zone. Every mineral that has nutritional values must operate within a Goldilocks zone. Not too much, not too little, just right. It's the balancing, and that's why more of a good thing is not necessarily all that good. More of a good thing may in fact be pretty bad. So it's important to do the right testing, to get things in the right balance, and then you get a good health, and in fact enduring health, excellent health. One of the other things about zinc, which I should mention, is that zinc is, you will have heard of nutrients such as quercetin that are used as a way of improving resistance to COVID-19. Now, how does that work? Well, what quercetin does, amongst other things, is it is what we call a zinc ionophore. Look it up. Just Google zinc ionophore and put in say quercetin, and what you will see is quercetin aids the pulling of zinc into cells through the cell wall. And zinc, by the way, when you're thinking of infections like viruses, zinc is best considered as being like a ammunition used by one's immune system. And what zinc does is it prevents viral replication inside the cells. So it's very important. The problem with zinc and other minerals is how do you get it into the cells. It's fine, easy enough to get it into the blood, get it into the extracellular compartment, but the most difficult is getting it through the cell wall into the actual cell intracellular matrix, and that's where substances like quercetin come in. And by the way, New Zealand blackcurrant is one of the rich sources of quercetin. So that might be one of the reasons why blackcurrant has so many health benefits. Anyway, it looks like things are starting to heat up here, going around the course, and I guess I should be thinking about getting on my bike. Crikey, this is going to be a big event, and I'll just go through to here and see what's going on here. Oh yes, we can see just doesn't look like too much, but everybody's getting out on the course. There are hundreds of cyclists going to be here for this great event, and it looks like I'm the only cyclist from down under representing the deep south of the planet. Okay, so I'll see you later. It's time for me to get on my bike